What is going on, beautiful people? I hope you are having a fantastically awesome day. Welcome to the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon. Before we jump in, I want to have a couple of apologies I feel that are necessary just to get out there. If you're watching on YouTube and the glow is too much, just, maybe minimize the screen, do something. I just put in a mud mask right before this video and this podcast, and my face is literally glowing. My hair's slicked back like an Italian race car driver because I got a little deep conditioning going on in that bad boy. Listen, when you're almost 50 years old and your significant other is an absolute gorgeous human being, like, you got to do everything you can to stay in the game and keep yourself looking decent. So that's the reason this is what's going on today. If you're just listening, good for you. You don't have to deal with any of this stuff. But if you're watching on YouTube, my apologies. My bad. I'll try not to do it again. This episode is sponsored by one of my favorite products. It's called Elite Gut Support. Now, what Elite Gut Support is, I'm going to make this short and sweet. It is a combination of digestive enzymes and probiotics. 80% of your immune system is in your belly. You have a complex array of bacteria inside of your stomach, good bacteria versus bad bacteria. You want the good bacteria to win. That's what this does. It fortifies your belly with good bacteria from the probiotics that are in the chewables. I made it chewable so everybody can take it. Kids, people with problematic issues with swallowing pills. It's good for everybody. The digestive enzymes are amazing. They will help you digest all of the proteins, carbs, fats, everything you're putting into your system. What it's going to do is it's going to make you a professional pooper. If you don't poop very well, this product is a necessity. I take it with every single meal, whether it's a T-bone steak or a salad. I'm using my Elite Gut Support to make sure I'm getting maximum absorption of all the nutrients, minerals, phytonutrients, macros, micros, all the rows that you could ever want to get. Elite Gut Support, guys, check it out. Go to thriveforeverfit.com, click on the shop. You'll see it in there. It is legitimately one of my favorite products. I'm just staring at the bottle like we're in a relationship all of a sudden. All right, let's jump in. Here we go. Today's all about getting mad. Like, it's time to get mad. Now, before you start thinking what has happened, has Jay lost his mind? Is he promoting anger and rage and all those things? The answer is absolutely not. If you look at the title of the show, there's 2 Ds and there should have been 3 Ds. So what MAD stands for is make a different decision. Now, I was going to put 3 Ds in and say, make a different damn decision, because some of you guys need to hear that extra D because you're stuck in the roller coaster of making the same decisions over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome, when all you need to do is make a different damn decision and your life will change drastically. Now, let's jump into a few areas in the simplicity of how this could work for you. Let's talk about things, the decisions you can make, different decisions you can make that would make a monumental difference in your life. What if, number one, what if you stopped the negative self-talk? What if you stopped talking to yourself like you would never talk to somebody else and like you would never allow another human to talk to you? That inner critic inside of you is destroying any likelihood that you're going to have success on whatever journey it is that you're on. If you're on a weight loss journey and you have negative self-talk, you're going to convince yourself that you're not worth it. If you're on a financial journey where you want to make more money, you're going to convince yourself that you don't have the education or the knowledge or the resources to make it happen. You're going to convince yourself you're not smart enough, pretty enough. You don't have the right people in your life. You're going to convince yourself you don't have the right education. You'll convince yourself that you need to stay stuck where you're stuck. So what if every time that negative self-talk started, you made a giant clap and you said, not today. That's not me. That's old. I'm new. And I'm going to make a different decision about the way I speak to myself. Because the way you speak to yourself will dictate the way you act. And if you have negative self-talk and you're on a weight loss journey, it's very likely, highly likely, virtually for sure, that you're going to make bad decisions when it comes to the foods that you're putting in your mouth. Because negative self-talk is one of the most damning things you can do. So that's number one. Number two, what if you just stopped playing so damn small? What if you stopped hiding in the shadows? What if you really stood up and said, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do? I had a coaching call the other day with an uber successful veterinarian. And we had this big conversation about the next steps. And I said, you're going to have to get comfortable being seen. She's brilliant. One of the best veterinarians in our entire, in Southern California, probably even in the world for that matter. I'm not an expert on veterinarians, but I know this person's reputation, and I know how successful she is. I know her voice is fantastic. I know she has a lot to say, but she's going to have to get comfortable being seen so that her influence can be viewed and heard by the masses. But if she keeps playing small, then she's not going to get what she wants to get. And I guarantee you're probably playing smaller than you need to. You've under-indexed your ability. You've under-indexed your capacity to be the person that you dream about. I'm here to tell you, you were born for greatness. You were born for awesomeness. You were born to be the thing that you want to be. But somehow along the way, somebody, something, maybe you, maybe not you, has convinced you to stay small, has convinced you to hide, has convinced you to stay in the shadows. And the two things kind of go hand in hand, the negative self-talk, right? Hiding in the shadows, like not being very self-confident. Like those things were put inside of you by something or somebody. Somebody told you somewhere along the way to sit down, shut up, and be quiet in some fashion, right? Maybe not in those exact words, but it's time for you to get mad. It's time for you to make a different damn decision. It's time for you to make a different decision with your life and actually make a decision that you want to make. Stop allowing yourself to be controlled and manipulated by old stories or news stories or propaganda or bullshit or whatever it might be. And maybe it's your own bullshit. I've said this often on this show. The day my life changed monumentally was the day I stopped believing my own bullshit. And part of that bullshit was negative self-talk. Part of it was hiding, staying in the shadows, because I felt like if I was in the shadows, then I couldn't get hurt. Guess what? I was getting hurt on the daily. It wasn't until I stepped out of the shadows, dropped all the fake BS, and stood up for who I was and what I wanted to be, that the pain went away. The trauma went away. The tragedy went away. And I was able to use all of that to triumph. Number 3, this is a big one, man. I think this one is, I mean, you guys, if you know anything about me, you will know that this one is high on my list. No more hanging around people that keep you held down. I've seen this so many times here recently. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around 5 bums, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around blank, you'll be the blank, right? Think about that. Stop hanging around people that are allowing you to hide and stay in the shadows. You need to be around people that are willing to lift you up, that shine the spotlight on you, not just on themselves. You need to be hanging around people that don't let you have that negative self-talk, that builds you up, that boost your momentum, that give you self-confidence, that help you be the person you were born to be, that see the person that you were born to be. Many of you are hanging around with jokers. When you hang around with jokers, all your life becomes a joke. Well, Jay, how do I do that? How do I get around different people? You got to do some work. You got to seek those people out. You got to join programs and processes and masterminds and things of that nature. You got to get around people that want the things that you want. Right? If you want a better body, you don't hang out at the bar. Right? You go to the gym. You hang around people who are on a quest for a better body, better wellness, better health. Right? You start listening to podcasts that are about health, wellness. You start hanging around people that are all about health and wellness. You start thinking differently. You start speaking differently. You start acting differently. You start showing up for yourself. That's how things change. When you show up for yourself, guess what? If you're hanging around bums, then the billionaire doesn't want anything to do with you. Those are both metaphorical terms, right? Billionaire bum. I like the B's. You get it, right? Double D's. D. You get it. You got to do it. I'm not talking literally that your friends are bums. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just people who don't really want more out of life. Maybe they're just okay being okay. And if you're not, it's time to get around some people that aren't okay being okay. some people that are striving for excellence, some people that want more out of life. Number 4, got to goes hand in hand with what I just talked about. What if you stop treating your body like a garbage can? What if you stop treating your body like a garbage can? I was listening to something the other day, and they were talking about successful people, the most successful people that they knew. It's a book. I can't remember the title of it, or I'd give it to you, but they interviewed some of the most successful people in their sphere, in their industry, in their circle. And the number one thing that all of these successful people had in common is that their top priority was their health and wellness. They made their health and wellness a top priority. Now, this doesn't mean you have to eat kale salads for the rest of your life and you can never have that delicious donut that you crave. But what it means is you've got to make health and wellness a top priority and stop treating yourself like a garbage can. Start treating yourself like with the value that you deserve. You know how big of a change that will make? I see it all the time. I watch people when they stop treating themselves poorly with their health and wellness and fitness, everything changes for them because it's so psychological. Your brain is manipulated by the food intake that you're allowing into your world. If you're somebody who eats burgers, fries, pizzas, drinks beers, that's the makeup of your diet, your brain is not functioning at its highest level. And therefore, you're not having the creativity and the imagination and the wonderment that life is meant to be. You'll find that when you start treating yourself with more respect from a nutritional perspective, your brain begins to work better. You lose the fog. You lose some of the depression and anxiety and overwhelm and chaos because your brain's not being inundated with toxins and garbage. Number 5, what if you put a stop to the drama and the gossip and the negativity? What if you put a stop to it? I tell people all the time, they don't seem to understand how it's even possible, but I don't have drama in my life. I don't have gossip in my life. I don't have negativity in my life. And part of that is because I go up to number 3 and I take that very seriously. No more hanging around with people. No more hanging around with bums. Right? There's no bums in my life. So I have no drama. I have no gossip. I have no negativity. I'm surrounded by positive, powerful, abundance thinking individuals, which it translates to everything. And some of you are like, well, I'm like, well, that's my so-and-so, or that's my blah, 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 or I can't get away from these people because it's my mom, or it's my sister, or it's my husband, or it's my wife, or it's my brother, or it's my friends, or it's your life is what it is. And if you don't stop it, it will continue. If you don't stop it, you're choosing it. You're selecting it if you don't stop it. It's so damning to your success. All these things are, right? And if you think about all of them, they all kind of work synergistically. Negative self-talk is at its highest state when you're allowing drama and gossip and negativity into your life. When you treat yourself like a garbage can, of course, you're going to have negative self-talk. If you're hanging around bums, of course, you're going to have bum level behaviors. If you're hiding in the shadows because of all those things, right? If you have negative self-talk, drama, gossip, negativity, you treat yourself horribly, who wouldn't want to hide in the shadows? So you see how changing one of these will probably change all of these? And if you changed all of these, can you see what life would look like? Can you see the magnificence of what your life would be? Start with one. Start simple, start granular, start small, start with the easiest one. But really, seriously, ask yourself these questions. Let's go back to number 5 before we move on. No more drama, no more gossip, no more negativity. Many of you are like, well, it's this. So you have to ask yourself, what part am I playing in this? What role do I have? What am I getting out of the drama? What am I getting out of the gossip? What am I getting out of the negativity? And I guarantee you this, if you're hanging around people that are doing this, those are the same people that are holding you down. Those are the same people that don't want you to rise. And if you start to rise, they will grab that shoe, they will grab that foot, they will grab that leg, they'll grab anything they can to drag you back down into the bottom of the bucket. Because bums don't want to be better. They don't want better lives. And when you start wanting a better life, you're going to start to realize when you start talking to yourself the way you're talking to yourself, you're going to realize that once one of these things changes, all of these things changes. And if you imagine all 5 of these, look at them connected now synergistically. Wouldn't that be a better life? Wouldn't that be a life worth living? Wouldn't that be a life of awesomeness? If you started to live the life that you truly deserve, the life you truly desire. And it all starts with a simple decision. That simple decision is you have to love yourself enough to stop allowing the nonsense. It's really true. You know what we do a lot as humans, especially in this day and age, is we seek external validation. We seek external everything, really. We like to be told what to do because then we're not responsible. We like to be validated by people we don't even know on the internet. We seek validation in the most bizarre ways. I won't get into that. You guys know my stance on the social media world. But we're seeking validation externally. We're seeking acceptance externally. We're seeking pride externally. We're seeking everything from an outside source. And truth be told, none of those things will ever be good enough. External validation will never be good enough to fill the holes that you have in your heart. It'll never be. You'll never be able to get enough clicks. You'll never be able to get enough likes. You'll never be able to get enough comments. You'll never be able to get enough pats on the back. You'll never be able to get enough whatever it is you're seeking until you learn how to self-validate, until you learn how to get those things from yourself, until you learn how to be proud of yourself, right? Because if you're not proud of yourself and someone else is proud of you, yeah, it feels good. It's nice, but it doesn't stay. It doesn't land. It's not permanent. It's instant gratification that fades really quickly. And that's why you continue to seek it out. But if you're proud of yourself and someone that you respect and admire is also proud of you, it anchors that pride. It anchors that feeling. Same thing goes with love. Same thing goes with everything, right? All the emotions that you're seeking externally have to be first validated internally, or you won't know how to receive them. Until you love yourself, you can't receive love from someone else. You don't know how. Again, it might feel good in the moment, in the instant gratification of it, but it's fleeting, right? It's not permanent. Self-love is permanent. Self-belief is permanent. Self-gratification, right? Self-confidence, those are permanent fixtures. And when you get those, you will stop seeking the external forms of those. But then if an external form of those does come your way, it will be anchored, right? But right now you have nothing to anchor it on. Your system has holes in it. So ask yourself, why am I seeking this externally when I don't even feel it internally within myself? And go back to the top of the list. If you stop the negative self-talk and you start to speak to yourself in a positive, powerful way, then you will hear different things from the external, and they will be way more powerful. But if you're negative self-talking yourself and somebody else out there is pumping you full of this false whatever it is, it won't even land. It's going to go right through the holes. But when you start filling those holes that you have in your heart, in your belief system, with positive, powerful self-belief, then you can anchor some of those things. It's why you play small. It's why you hide. You feel like if you hide, you don't use your voice, you don't show up, you're not seen, then you can't be heard. The truth is, if you're hiding and you're playing small and you're not being seen, you're already hurt. Hanging around people that keep you put down, that keep you down, that don't give you the enthusiasm or the momentum to want to rise up, right? You've got to be that person. I was having a conversation the other day with a young client of mine, getting ready to go off to university. And they were talking about the team that they were going to go play on. And I said, well, what's wrong with that team? Why don't you want to go play there? And he said, well, they don't really take it seriously. They don't seem to really care about the program and the process and the this and the that. And I said, well, why don't you show up and be the one that changes that culture? You show up and teach them how to take this seriously. You show up and teach them about momentum. You show up and teach them how to train, how to sleep, how to eat, how to speak, how to think, how to do all those things. And I could see the light bulb go off in his head because he wants it to come externally. He wants it to be there so he can just plug himself into it. But if he became that and he went there, then they would rise to his level. And so I'm going to go back to number 3. If you're hanging around people that don't want more out of life, you're going to have to be the one that raises the level. You're going to have to be the one that elevates. And some people in your circle will elevate with you because they want to go. They just don't know how to go. You might be the one that has to be the leader. You might have to be the lighthouse for them. And as you start to grow and as you start to move out of the shadows and as that self-talk starts to become more positive and powerful, you will see a different side of you that you love. It will anchor the self-belief, the self-confidence, and the self-love that you need. And if we look at number 4, the treating yourself like a garbage can, that doesn't just go with consumption, right? It goes with, well, it doesn't just go with consumption of foods and beverages. It goes with consumption of information. Are you watching the news or are you watching something really powerful and positive that could change your life for the positive and the better? Are you listening to nonsense and drama? Are you watching the Desperate Housewives of Who Gives a Shit? Or are you watching something that could make you smarter and better and healthier and happier? Right? Those two things are vastly different. So auditing your inputs of information, of nutrition, of everything is paramount. And then number 5, no more drama. Right? If you have drama in your life, negativity, gossip, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. You have to ask yourself, what role am I playing in this? What am I getting out of this? And what you're getting out of it is going to be eye-opening to you, right? It might be a sense of belonging because, well, that's what everybody else does, right? It's easy to find people who want to gossip. It's easy to find drama. It's easy to find negativity. And so you stay there because it's easy, even if it's not what you want. But once you start to think differently, to speak differently, to act differently, you'll move away from that drama. Once you start to think positively, the drama and the gossip and the negativity, you'll be so repulsed and repelled by it that you will naturally and energetically just move away from it. So here's what I want for you. I want you to start living the life you deserve. And ask yourself simple questions to get there. Am I currently living the life I deserve and desire? Am I currently doing everything I can be doing in order to live my dream life? And if you're not, try with one thing. Start with one thing. Ask yourself this. What's the one thing I could do differently today that would change my life in a positive fashion? And then do that thing. And then do that thing again. And then do that thing again. And then when you're ready, ask yourself the question again. What's the next thing I could do? And what you'll notice is it's like dominoes. Once you start knocking 1 down and 2 down and 3 down, it becomes very easy to knock the next domino down. Oftentimes that next domino will fall for you in the direction that you need it to fall, because that's what positive, powerful, abundance level momentum does, is it starts to create the life that you were born to live. But you got to start with the decision that you're no longer willing to tolerate a life that is less than acceptable. And I wanted you to understand the word tolerate. You're tolerating the life you're living right now, regardless of what it is. Even if it's a stupendous level life, you're tolerating that, which may be okay. But hopefully you start wanting more, right? Hopefully you want more awesomeness. Like I can't think of a level of awesomeness and abundance that would be enough. I can't think of a level of happiness that would be enough. I can't think of a level of connection and love and passion and purpose that would be enough. So even if you're living in all those areas, why don't you stop? Don't start settling now. Keep going. It's infinite. You're infinite. The possibilities are infinite. But it starts with decisions. So get mad. Make a different decision and watch your life change exponentially. Guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to ask you to do 2 things. If you like this show, if you love this show, Share it with somebody. Put the word out there. It's the only way this show can grow, right? And the more people we can touch with this kind of messaging, the more impact we can make on the world. Number two, if you're not part of one of my programs, if you're not part of the Thrive Forever Fit program or my free program, the Wellness Lab Launchpad, get yourself in one of those ASAP. It's the easiest way to start chipping away at these 5. Because I can tell you this, I won't allow you, and I don't mean that in a forceful way. You're not going to want to have these in your life if you get around me enough. If you get around the people that I've surrounded myself with enough, you're not going to want these things. You're going to get rid of the negative self-talk really quick. You're not going to want to play small anymore. You're going to be forced to hang around people who lift you up and celebrate everything you do. You won't be allowed to treat yourself like a garbage can. You won't want to. And there will be no drama, no negativity, and no gossip. So if anything I said today resonated with you, get your ass in one of those places. Thrive Forever Fit, the Wellness Lab Launchpad. Go to thriveforeverfit.com, easiest way to find both. Share this podcast with a friend, a family member, somebody that you love that needs to hear this messaging so you guys can come and connect together and make your ecosystem better. Do those things for me, guys. Do those things for you. Love you. Appreciate you. Can't believe you listen to this show. There's so many options out there. Grateful. Doesn't even begin to explain how I feel. I'll be back next week. Again, I'm sorry about the glow. Sorry about the slick back hair. I appreciate you guys hanging with me, staying with me. Love you. I'll be back again next week with another episode. Have some fun. Be nice to each other. Love yourself enough to make a different decision. Peace.